This video is something of a follow-up to my previous Bad Batch video talking about Delta 6-2, so if you haven't already, be sure to check that out. When we're formally introduced to Scorch in the Bad Batch Season 2, he acts as something of a special henchman for Dr. Hemlock, being the one he orders to investigate the military shuttle that escaped during the Zillo Beast incident, and the one who captures Omega on Ord Mantell. Jumping ahead several to many rotations in Season 3, Scorch is pretty much always seen at the side of Hemlock throughout Mount Tantus. Whether it's Hemlock speaking with Imperial technicians, checking in on Nala Se's progress, or going to the vault, Scorch is consistently seen in the presence of the Doctor. His main role right now is essentially Hemlock's personal enforcer or bodyguard, escorting him from location to location or relaying essential info to him. It's also worth noting that the credits now list him as Commander Scorch, so he definitely has a lot of influence within Tantus. In the first episode of Season 3, when Dr. Hemlock and Nala Se visit the vault, Scorch stays behind as the two scientists venture through layers of ray shields. However, in Episode 3, when Emperor Palpatine visits Tantus to check on Project Necromancer's status, Scorch joins the group through the shield. This is a minute detail, but I find it interesting that Scorch possibly opts to join in as extra security. As Omega and Crosshair escape Tantus, Scorch is ordered by Dr. Hemlock to halt the breakout, dispatching squads of troops into the forested areas in search. When it's revealed that Omega has a matching M count in her blood that meets the level required for Necromancer, Hemlock calls off the pursuit and Scorch questions this order.
But sir, they're escaping. Stand down!
Only to call off the chase at the Doctor's behest. Now to the title of this video. What exactly is going on with Scorch? This can probably be expanded to what is going on with all clone commandos. We get some clues in these two episodes I'd like to hone in on. When Hemlock confronts Omega in the Lurkahound kennels, he mentions how Crosshair has been resistant to re-education. What is this re-education? Well, we catch a brief glimpse in Episode 3 as Crosshair and a couple regs are leaving this unique location being observed by one of the clone operatives we saw back in Season 2. My immediate guess is this is what Hemlock was referring to with re-education. Problematic clones that Hemlock insisted do not be terminated, but sent to him to be test subjects. Crosshair and these other clones were more than likely being brainwashed into becoming more of these operatives, and this is my assumption as to what also happened with the clone commandos. More specifically, ones at the level of Scorch or the Imperial Royal Guard commandos. There's something frightening about Scorch's emotionless cadence and actions, especially around Project Necromancer. Seeing a clone commando so beloved like 6-2 in this dark, creepy room housing these concealed pods is pretty disturbing. Obviously, he isn't a point of view character in this show, but I wonder what he's thinking, if anything, when this dark science is concerned. Is he thinking, what have I gotten myself into? Or is he on the level of the operatives where they're cold and consider themselves believers? Now there's something I have to include here that can contradict this theory about commandos being a part of this re-education. Gregor. When we're reunited with Gregor in Season 1 of The Bad Batch, he is very much of his own mind and volition. It's clear he wasn't involved in any sort of re-education process and, as he said, was sent to Dara with other commandos to train the future TK troopers and eventually wandered out. But here's this to consider. All the way back in the first episode of the show when Crosshair's chip effect was amplified, it's possible the same procedure happened to Scorch and the others who were showing signs of disobedience. Maybe this was going to happen to Gregor as well after he was caught. Maybe after Scorch had his effect amplified, Hemlock considered him his greatest success and brought him back to Tantus. Obviously, there's still a lot more to uncover here as the season goes on as it pertains to Scorch and the other commandos, and by the end of this season, I'll probably make one final video covering this beloved commando. But let me know your own thoughts. After I made that first video, I found myself really appreciating 6-2 much more than I already did, even going on to make a stop motion involving him as the main antagonist. He's swiftly climbing the ladder to being one of my favorite clones, but obviously no one can compete with the glorious Captain Hauser. Anyway, thank you all so much for checking this out. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments. I truly appreciate every aspect or viewpoint when it comes to this stuff. Healthy discussions are always a blast, especially when Star Wars is concerned, so type away. And as always, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, tap the notification bell, all the fixes. Take care, stay awesome, and may the Force be with you.